Oh yeah. Did you hear that? Win. We were living next to an empty lot, and they were building a grocery store there. They were having their opening week and they were handing out balloons. They were helium balloons, and my kindergartner was so excited to get this balloon. And he got it, and you may recognize this part of the story where he let go of the balloon and it went all the way up to the ceiling. He was really upset. But he calmed down and we got home and he asked me, "Mom, why did that balloon fly up to the ceiling?" And so we got to talk about helium. And I showed him helium on the periodic table, and he said, "Well, what are all of these other boxes?" So we started learning about hydrogen, and we were watching a documentary on the Hindenburg and why it failed due to it being filled with hydrogen. That has kind of fueled how we homeschool, and it's very child-led, it's very interest learning. We really lean towards unschooling. I won't say we're like full-on unschoolers because I love the power of a good story. So we use story-based curriculum for our math. We use Life of Fred, and we use story-based curriculum for our history, which is Story of the World. For everything else, we just live life. And I have been so pleasantly surprised how intrinsically motivated my boys are to learning. They want to delve deep into that subject, and so we do. If they want to learn about the universe, we learn about the universe. If they want to learn about multiplication, we learn about multiplication. You just have to trust that it'll be enough, that they'll get what they need. Because we lean more towards unschooling, the main order of the day is play. Playing is learning. I think a lot of adults see play as this frivolous thing that kids just sometimes do, and they need to run to get their energy out so that they can do the serious learning. But for us, play is really where the important stuff happens. For example, my oldest son is obsessed with space and really anything science related. One day he was playing with his friends outside and he just wanted to do a presentation on space. So what do you want to be when you grow up?
An astronaut.
Of course, because you love space. What do you want to do as an astronaut?
Lead an expedition to Mars. And try to build a Mars city.
We start our day, and we often try to read our scriptures and pray at the beginning of the day, and sometimes I'll call the kids together and we read together, and we'll either read a story, or we'll read out of Life of Fred for math, or we'll read Story of the World, and sometimes there are activities associated with that. But we don't do that every day. We do try to read the scriptures every day, but as far as like curriculum goes, it's just kind of a, hey, do you want to read this book with me? So it's very spontaneous. There really isn't a lot of planning involved. Most planning is probably him saying, I'm really interested in such and such. And so then my job is to go find a resource in which he can learn that thing. My oldest son just finished reading the Michael Bay series. And it's about these electric kids, and his first motivation is just to save his mom. He's gonna go save his mom. And then later in the series, he has to save the world. For a while he was reading these books, he was forming all of his play around the Electro clan and electricity, and now he really, really wants to get an electricity circuit board. My 6-year-old really, really wanted to learn karate. He was really excited about it, and I don't know anything about karate, so we had to go find a teacher. There is no way that we would take a class that my kids weren't really excited about. My mom was a piano teacher, and I would love for them to take piano. So I can encourage it, I can show an example of it, I can model it, but if they never learn piano, it's not the end of the world. You were in kindergarten and first grade in public school, and then in second and third grade you were homeschooled. So what do you think is the difference between the two, and what do you like better?
I like homeschooling better, and the difference between homeschooling and public school is that in homeschooling you're free to learn what you want.
So what kind of things do you like to learn about?
Everything! The ancient Greeks, the human body.
Oh yeah, that's really interesting too. What are some other things you like about homeschooling?
Yo.
Yeah? And what about your brothers?
Yeah.
They're there too. How is learning different subjects different in homeschooling versus learning at school, in public school?
Math is different because in public school, someone wrote it on a board and someone tried to guess the answer. And with homeschooling, you can read the math from books. For example, Life of Fred, and there's a your turn to play at the end of each chapter.
And where's your favorite place to do school?
Outside in the backyard.
Oh yeah, that's nice. I like being in the back too.
I don't really see a difference.
Yes. You know what? That was what I was going for. It's just life, right?
Yeah.
This is Life of Fred. This is the first book. It's called Apples. The rest of the elementary series is up here, and it's not set up like a traditional math book or textbook or anything. It's story-based, and it's about a 5-year-old boy named Fred, and he's a college professor of math, and he has a doll named Kingy, and it's about Fred's life and his adventures and his friends. And Fred likes to go running, and he likes pets, and he loves math, and it's super, super, super silly. Seriously, you will laugh. You learn math as Fred uses them in his life. And so you'll never get a question of, when are we going to use this? A lot of people ask where to get started in this curriculum. Same thing I hear from every Life of Fred family is start at the beginning. Start at apples. There's actually 2 reasons. The first reason is because it is story-based. So if you jump ahead, you're going to miss the beginning of the story. It'd be like starting in the middle of a movie and you would not have any idea what's going on. Another reason to start at the beginning is because Life of Fred doesn't go in a traditional order. So fractions, for example, are put off until at least like 5th grade age. They're put pretty far back. Whereas there are some advanced topics mixed in with the super easy topics. So you'll be talking about addition and all of a sudden there's some calculus equation going on, and he keeps it really, really simple. He makes it really easy to understand. I started a business called Songbird Menagerie, and it combines story and play. I have an Etsy shop that I will link in the description for the peg dolls. Once a month I'll be coming out with a new fairy tale story or folktale story, and I'll have a peg doll set to match. Stories, pierce to the heart. They make you feel good things, and they make you remember important things. I hope that you'll check out my Etsy shop and kind of see in action stories and play married together, because it's fabulous. That's all I got for you today. So I will see you soon. Bye! Oh my gosh, how did that happen?
He's like, yeesh.